YouTube, what is going on, guys? Day one, Nate here. Now, a video just came out on Mongil Stardive, basically explaining why they used Unreal Engine and what their plan is with Unreal Engine moving forward as far as the game is concerned. And they kind of deep dive into a lot of different stuff that I thought was kind of cool. So I figured, why not make a video on it? Because a lot of this stuff usually isn't shared. This isn't stuff that you can kind of just like find out there. It's not stuff that usually gets talked about. They kind of deep dive a little bit on certain things and why they chose to use Unreal Engine over any of the other engines, and why it's also like made it a little bit easier for them to be able to develop certain things and get the game out in a timely manner. So let's just dive into it. This is again another video that isn't entirely in English, so there's going to be some subtitles here and there. So we'll just kind of follow along with the subtitles and kind of just talk through some of the stuff. I'm not going to deep dive into this as much as I did DNA, because I think this is more of just like a super interesting thing. But they do point out some very key specific things with the game that is super, super important to know moving forward.
Mongil Stardive is a collectible action-adventure game set in a playful and whimsical world, where players meet a wide cast of charming characters and monsters, and go on an exciting journey. Key features include strategic tag battles based on each character's unique control system and skill trait, monster taming content that lets you bond with companions throughout the adventure, and a seamless world structure that offers intuitive and immersive exploration, an experience unique to Mongil Stardive. One of our key focuses is delivering rich character-driven narratives and introducing a new kind of battle experience we call solo party play. We designed the core controls to be light and accessible, removing stress and lowering the learning curve.
So I think that that's something that's super cool to talk about with them kind of pointing it out is, one, the fact of catching and taming monsters, which is something that is also in Blue Protocol, which adds another layer to a gacha style game like this, as well as the thought process behind, hey, let's just make this game playable, let's make this game fun, let's make this game easy to learn and difficult to master. And I think for entry level players that are getting their hands on a game like this for the first time, it kind of allows them to go in and not feel this burden of, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm going to struggle in these types of games, especially because this is going to the Epic Game Store, which I think is going to bring a lot of attention to it, where a lot of the other games you kind of have to go and search for them. So I think that this approach is really interesting, and I also think that this approach is really, really good for a game that is going to enter the Epic Games platform.
However, as players progress, they will discover that each character features a unique control system and action style, unlocking a deeper layer of strategic gameplay. When switching characters, the newly entered character uses a unique skill based on their role and trait, while the previous character stays on the field briefly to support them. This
So I very much
creates a
expect
unique
this to
combat
be
experience
similar
that truly
to
feels
other
like
gacha
managing
games,
a party
where
on your
there'll be
own.
like
Every new
synergies
character or team combination
swapping
offers a
from
fresh
character
and
to character.
dynamic experience, almost like playing an entirely different game each time. On top of that, players can tame, nurture, and battle alongside the monsters who join them on their journey.
Just in this video, I also want to
Adding
point out
another
how
layer of
cool
depth, discovery,
the
and
boss
long-term
mechanics are,
enjoyment
as
to
well as
adventure.
the character abilities as
The
well.
reason we chose
They
Unreal
look
Engine
really
5
smooth.
is simple. We wanted to bring the vibrant world of Mongil Stardive, filled with countless characters and monsters, to life with the highest quality possible. To deliver a seamless cross-platform experience across PC, console, and mobile, we needed the best development environment and a wide range of powerful features. Unreal Engine 5 was the perfect fit for that. The art style of Mongil Stardive sits between realism and stylized animation. Unreal Engine's flexible material system helped us blend anime-style toon shading with a semi-realistic look.
So I think that's again another thing to kind of like talk more about as games progressively start to come out more and more is you aren't really just thinking about like, oh, this is a PC game, or oh, this is only coming out on Xbox or PS5, or oh, this is just a mobile game. Like nearly every game at this point is coming out on PC and console, as well as a lot of games are also starting to venture into the mobile kind of platform as well. Like that was the direction that Once Human took before going to console. They went to mobile first. And that's starting to become more of a thing where you're seeing games, specifically games like this, that are sitting PC and console and then also sitting on mobile as well. So having a development platform that allows them to seamlessly be able to transfer from platform to platform obviously is main priority, because the time in which it takes is time that could be spent doing something else, and it takes these games significantly longer to come out if it's also taking them longer to develop them as well.
Material instancing also optimized performance by reducing memory usage and shader compile times. Facial rigging and pose asset systems allowed us to express character personalities in detail, while aim offset helped characters make eye contact with players, enhancing emotional immersion. Unreal Sequencer lets us control animations, camera, audio, lighting, and effect on a timeline, making complex emotional scenes possible. Above all, Unreal Engine delivered consistent high-quality rendering across platforms, which was crucial for crossplay. From the beginning, we aimed to create a seamless modular level structure without loading screens to provide users with smooth adventures across a vast world. Unreal Engine's asynchronous level streaming system was the key to achieving this goal. It loads resources in the background while keeping the game smooth and responsive, even on mobile devices. This allowed us to deliver fluid interaction and immersive gameplay across all platforms.
Now that's also becoming a bigger thing too, is games are really trying to get away from loading screens, because anytime that you're in a loading screen is can sometimes drive a little bit more frustration, especially if the loading times take super long. Like something that's always been talked about in Lost Ark is actually loading the game of Lost Ark takes like 5 minutes on some people's PCs, and they just don't like that. It's a very frustrating thing to have to deal with. So people are trying to develop games to get away from the super long loading times and just getting away from having to load into something and then load out of something. If it's possible to just kind of be seamless throughout the world and have stuff appear as it needs to appear. And if they found a way, which it's sounding, I don't exactly understand the technology terms, but it sounds as if it's always going to be there in the world, but it's only going to actually load when it needs to be there rather than it just being there all the time, which in that case, allowing them to not feel the burden of adding more content without reducing performance, because of the fact that it's kind of just sitting in the background. It's kind of just sitting idle until it's ready to be unlocked and ready to be used, which is really big, especially a game that is inevitably going to live and die off of creating more and more content.
We were especially impressed by the enhanced profiling tool in UE5.5 and the control and freedom provided by full access to the engine source code. Unreal Insight enabled more accurate CPU and GPU analysis, helping us quickly identify bottlenecks. Most of all, this level of access allowed us to implement custom features and extend the rendering pipeline to suit our project's needs. The engine's modular architecture also made it easy to integrate new systems without breaking existing ones, improving both development efficiency and long-term maintainability.
Again, like I said, you don't want to develop something and then break something else, because then you got to go back and fix it. And then if you got to go back and fix it, it stops you from progressing.
Powerful asset for our team, enabling efficient optimization even in complex multi-platform environment. While the global reach and strong community of the Epic Games Store are certainly important, what matters most to us is Epic's commitment to building a developer-friendly ecosystem, and we want to be part of that effort. With Mongil Stardive, we hope to connect with players around the world and become one of the most successful titles on EGS. We truly believe this is a win-win opportunity for both Netmarble and Epic. We are getting ready to share all the latest news and connect with you, our valued players. You won't just find us on our official website. We'll also be active on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and Discord. Our main goal is to make the wait for launch enjoyable and engaging. We will stay in close touch and actively listen to your feedback so we can make Mongil Stardive a game you truly enjoy and feel proud to play.
So there is another video that we're going to cover that came out at Gamescom, diving a little bit more into them talking with the people at Gamescom, but I think they pointed out a lot of very specific things that are really important to them. One, while we're waiting for the launch of this game, they want to make it active and engaging. They want to start to build a community around the game prior to the game launching because they obviously want people to be interested in it, as well as understanding that they really don't want to be in a situation where they want to be breaking constant development to fix other things and then having to go back because that bottlenecks how much they can actually get out. And they want to be pushing out as much as humanly possible, which is great. And ultimately, I think the game looks great. I think that the content within the game looks great. So we'll be very curious to see what more information comes out with it as time goes along. But we're going to continue to cover it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all in the next one.